In the 15th century, European kings sent ships chasing Asia's riches. But instead, Christopher Columbus landed in America by mistake. What seemed like an exciting discovery soon turned into a disaster. Native American nations, once millions strong, were hit by an invisible killer, diseases. They had never seen it before. Smallpox and violence wiped out up to 95% of the people. The land was taken by settlers without a fight, because most were already gone. Prepare for a story that's equal parts adventure and tragedy, reshaping America forever. This is The Hidden Disaster. And trust me, you won't look away. It's the 1400s, and Europe is buzzing with excitement. People are tired of the same old trade routes to Asia. They're slow, dangerous, and expensive. Everyone's dreaming of a faster way to grab spices, gold, and fancy stuff. So they decide to sail the seas and find a shortcut. What they don't know is that this adventure is about to change everything. Not just for them, but for a whole new world they didn't even expect to find. In 1492, a guy named Christopher Columbus hops on a ship with a big idea. He's sailing for Spain, thinking he'll hit Asia by going west. Spoiler alert, he doesn't. Instead, he lands in what we now call America. Pretty cool for Europe, right? They think they've struck gold. But for the people already living there, it's the start of a nightmare. Because Columbus didn't just bring sailors and supplies. He brought something way worse: diseases. The folks in America, like the Taino, the Aztec, and tons of other groups, had been doing great for thousands of years. They had awesome cities, grew their own food, and had their own way of life. But they'd never met the nasty germs Europe had been dealing with forever: smallpox, measles, the flu. In Europe, people had gotten sick from these bugs for ages and built up a kind of toughness to them. The Native Americans? They had no defense. When the Europeans showed up, it was like unleashing a monster they couldn't fight. Let's talk smallpox. One sick person coughs, shares a blanket, or brushes by, and boom, it's game over. It starts with a fever, then these awful blisters pop up everywhere. For Native Americans, it spread crazy fast. Whole towns got wiped out in days. Imagine the Aztec city of Tenochtitlan. Huge, busy, amazing, turned into a ghost town because of this stuff. People who saw it said the streets were full of bodies, families gone just like that. Some say up to 95% of Native Americans, millions of people, died from these diseases in just 100 years. That's wild, right? Entire ways of life, languages, songs, traditions, gone. Survivors were left in shock, their world falling apart. Leaders died, food stopped coming, and fighting back got harder. For the Europeans, it was like winning the lottery without even trying. All that empty land, easy to take over now. But wait, disease wasn't the only bad guy. The Europeans brought swords and guns too. Guys like Hernan Cortés didn't mess around. They'd fight anyone who got in their way. Then there was the work. They forced Native Americans to dig for silver or grow crops until they couldn't stand anymore. It was brutal. Disease, violence, and hard labor teamed up to make things even worse. This wasn't just a "yay, we found new land" story. It was a disaster that changed America forever. Big cities turned quiet, forests took over fields, and so many voices went silent. By the time more settlers showed up, they were walking into a place already torn apart, a place they didn't even realize had lost so much. Today, we look back and think, wow, that's heavy. Columbus's trip started something huge, but it came with a cost nobody saw coming. It's not just about ships and flags. It's about how tiny germs flipped the world upside down. This is the real story of America's beginning, a crazy mix of adventure and heartbreak. So, next time you hear about explorers, remember the people who were here first and how something as small as a sneeze changed everything. As we uncover this history, we honor those lost, not just to blades or chains, but to the silent, relentless sweep of disease